Hello people, it is your good friend Chat Marco here again with something a little different, obviously. So this isn't a ranked match video, got another one of those coming soon. I just want to talk about the Dragon Ball FighterZ game in general, specifically my team. So I'm gonna go to practice mode over here. So I finally have a team that I feel like I can play with long term. This video might get a bit ranty here, but so if you haven't noticed, my current team is base Vegeta, Trunks, and base Goku. This is my team that I'm going to be rolling with for a while. So I just want to talk about why I chose this team and a couple other things. So let me start from the beginning. One thing that I have to say that I really love about this game, and that's very rare, and it's probably the only fighting game like this, I can honestly say that I can see myself playing about maybe 60% of the cast, like 60, 65, like over half of the characters in this game I can see myself playing. I'm not gonna go into specifics here, and that's big because I'm a big fighting game fan. I played many fighting games, everything from Street Fighter to Tekken, Soul Calibur, Power Stone, Project Justice, Mortal Kombat, whatever. But having played fighting games for so long, one thing I realized is that typically, I think with most fighting games, I tend to gravitate to a small handful of characters. I would say out of the entire cast of most fighting games, I probably only end up seriously using about like 4 to 5 out of the entire cast, if that. Sometimes it's like 2 or 3. Like, for example, with Street Fighter Third Strike, Sean was pretty much my main. 80 to 90% of the time I was using Sean, and then I would kind of switch it up with Elena, sometimes Alex, Necro, or in Soul Calibur, Maxi was my main, and sometimes I might use like Yoshimitsu or Keelik, Talim. Tekken, I usually go with Steve. Virtual Fighter, I believe his name was Brad or Jackie. So for the most part, when I play fighting games, I tend to gravitate to a small handful of characters. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I believe I use mainly Deadpool, Chris, Dante. I love the guns. But the thing I noticed about this is one of the first fighting games I've ever played where I could genuinely see myself seriously playing at least half the cast, and really probably more than that, about 60-70%. Not a lot of characters in this game that I really just don't like. Might just be because of this particular series. You know, it's based off one of my favorite animes, so you know most of the characters have some sort of sentimental significance to me. I don't know, but all I know is most of the cast I really like. So, but now the good thing about that is that excuse me. The good thing about that is I have so many options as far as building a team. But the bad thing about that is that I have too many options as far as building a team. It would be so much simpler if this was like Street Fighter Third Strike or Virtual Fighter, where there was like only 3 characters that I really like. But the thing with this is, again, there's so many characters that I like. So it took me a long time to pick a team that I could really stick with. And making it worse is that really this year was the first time I was able to really play this game regularly and consistently. Because when the game came out, I didn't even have a PS4, so I could only play it when I was at my friend's house, or he brought his PS4 over here. So I was just sort of sporadically playing it here and there. So I didn't have enough time to really sit down and get really acquainted with any particular character or team. I was just playing it for fun here and there. And now that I finally got my own PS4, I've been playing it more consistently, but it still took me a while to really figure out a team that I wanted to use. Now, I would say before I figured out the team that I have now, my team was Bardock, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Base Goku. So, pretty good team. Overall. I might switch it up. Have Blue Vegeta, Bardock, Base Goku. But I felt like the thing was, like, now I could have stuck with these teams, but it was a couple issues. One, again, it's so many good characters in this game that I like. I didn't want to stick with the very first team that I gravitated towards forever. And I think early on, Bardock was one of my first favorite characters. He was a character that I gravitated towards early, and even to this day, he's probably one of my favorite characters, like top 3, top 4, top 5, whatever. But I felt like if I kept using Bardock, then I would be doing myself a disservice, because it got to a point where I felt like I was sort of using Bardock as a crutch, you know? Like, I've been using her for so long, just abusing that fucking auto combo, you know? And I just felt like I needed to branch out, because it's so many other characters in this game. Vegeta is a no-brainer, my favorite character from the series, so like more often than not, he's gonna be on the team regardless. And Base Goku, I would say Base Goku, I feel like I feel like out of all my favorite characters, he's the most fun to play. I love what he can do. I love his moveset. I feel like this version of Goku captures the spirit of the character better than anybody else. But again, like I said, I destroyed this team and now I'm on Base Vegeta, Trunks, and I kept Base Goku. So now I'm just going to explain why I chose this team in particular. So let's see. I'm gonna pick old school team. Well, some of them for comparison. Okay, let's go. You know I gotta get the right song. Woo! Oh man, this is my shit. Alright, so first is Base Vegeta. Why I chose Base Vegeta. Now the first reason being, of course, Vegeta is my favorite character from Dragon Ball. So without a doubt, typically I want him on the team because he's my favorite character. So, and the fact that I like the way that he plays is really a bonus. But you have to ask the question, why choose Base Vegeta over Super Saiyan Vegeta and Vegeta Blue? Because really, Super Saiyan Vegeta and Vegeta Blue were the one, like the two versions of Vegeta that I used first. And now I ended up on Base. So why did I do that? So again, Vegeta being my favorite character, one thing that I wanted Vegeta to be my point character. I wanted Vegeta to be the face of my team, the vanguard of the squad. And the problem with Super Saiyan Vegeta, now to be honest, being honest, man, Super Saiyan Vegeta is probably my favorite version of Vegeta in this game. But the problem with him is that he's much better as a mid or an anchor character, because we all know his awesome ass assists. You know, that, I mean, God, dude. It makes doing combo extensions with assists a lot easier. It's just a great assist to kind of throw out and catch people doing anything. And then it locks them in place and gives you plenty of time to just bop them and, you know. So, but like I said, because he's so much better as a mid or anchor character, it really wouldn't make much sense for me to put him on the front lines. And again, Vegeta being my favorite character, I want him to lead the way for my team. So even though Super Saiyan Vegeta is my favorite version of him in this game, he's not really ideal as a point character. Now, I might use another team with him playing his role as the anchor or the mid or whatever. But, you know, more than anything, I want Vegeta to lead my team. And Super Saiyan Vegeta just isn't a point. He's just not built. Really just not ideal. I mean, he can. I've seen people do it. Not saying he can't. He's just not ideal because his assist is so good that it's almost foolish not to make use of it right from the very beginning. Then on top of that, he doesn't really have a lot of mix-up potential or anything like that. That's one of the reasons why people have kind of gravitated away from him, because he doesn't have like a lot of ways to kind of get 50-50 mix-ups. So, and of course, base Vegeta is just built to mix people up. So, and another thing that I didn't like about Super Saiyan Vegeta is that he doesn't have a beam attack. He doesn't have an actual strong projectile. He has good ki blasts. Everybody knows, you know, runaway ki blast into DP, but he doesn't have a strong DP like let me see. I got lost in the characters here. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have a strong ki blast like that will actually clash with other strong beams. You know, you do this against somebody's beam and it'll go right through it. So, and again, it's not too big of an issue because he does have the DP to kind of make up for it and other tools. But as far as having a character on point, I'd rather have somebody that has an actual like strong projectile, and he doesn't have that. I mean, you can do this, but that's a super. So, okay, and now let's talk about why I didn't use Blue Vegeta. So Super Saiyan Vegeta is out because he's not valuable as a point character, or rather, he's much more valuable as an anchor. I feel foolish using him as anything but. So it's got to be between Blue Vegeta and Base Vegeta for point. Now, for a while, I was using Blue Vegeta. Now, let me see if I can set this up. And I'll show you exactly why. This was the main reason. Oh wait, I can't do it because I don't. But the main reason why, I use Blue Vegeta. Oh, I forgot the combos. Let me see. Right here, you can combo that into Goku's Spirit Bomb. So really, to be honest, the main reason why I used Blue Vegeta was primarily because, one, it's Vegeta, and two, he had a super that I could easily use to combo into base Goku's Spirit Bomb. That was really the main reason why I use him. But he does have other things that I really like. I love his Big Bang attack. Unlike Super Saiyan Vegeta, he has a very strong projectile. It's so dominant. I mean, even just when it comes out, it's doing damage. And on top of that, when you go in the air, it goes down at a pretty good angle. The only bad thing about it is that, well, really the two bad things about it is that it's pretty slow and you can't aim it upwards. And I don't think you can go across either. Hold on, let me see. What if they jump? Oh wait, again, I'm not him, so I can't do that. But yeah, I don't think you can aim it across either, as far as I know. So it does have weaknesses, but I love that. The other thing I like about Blue Vegeta is, come on, this is cool. But yeah, he has flashy moves. Look at that. It's beautiful. Final Flash. And you can turn it into a level 5. The Gallic Gun that goes in the Spirit Bomb easily. He's got the record kicks. But gotta be honest, not a big fan. Never been a big fan of these kicks. I just kind of throw it out randomly, really. But I will say that just throwing these out randomly has kind of worked out in my favor a lot of times. But yeah, he does have a couple things that I like. But now the reason why I picked base Vegeta over Blue Vegeta, now what I like about Blue Vegeta is that he's very flashy. Like I said, he got these flashy attacks and stuff. And to be honest, initially when base Vegeta came out, I thought he was okay, but I wasn't very fond of him. And the reason why I wasn't was because he just didn't have the flash of Blue Vegeta and Super Saiyan Vegeta. I mean, I saw this is his level 3, and I was like, okay, but that's not hold up, that's not Final Flash. That's not Final Flash, like, you know. And even Blue Vegeta has a Final Flash. I mean, you telling me I got this? What is this? I don't even remember this. I mean, again, it's okay, but it's not Final Flash. It's not like his iconic like super attack or anything like that. It's not like Vegeta's signature move from the anime. Is what I'm trying to say. Then it's like, yeah, he's got Gallic Gun, but it doesn't really have like that. It's like, yeah, it's Gallic Gun, but it doesn't really feel like it's a strong move. The damage is okay, but it doesn't really have that oomph to it, you know? The same way that, you know, boom! You know? Bow! Boom! It doesn't have that oomph to it. So, alright, now let's look at his his other attacks, right? So this, like really, you know. I mean that's cool, obviously, but this, what's this? You know. And then another thing that kind of turned me off was this. I know he used it in the anime to cut off Gohan's tail, but I was like, when I think of Vegeta, I don't think of a Destructo Disc type attack. So this was another thing that kind of turned me off him. Okay. Then he has what, this? And then you'll say, okay, that's a command grab. That's cool, but it only hits, like, you can only do it if they're standing up. If they're crouching, it won't even, like, yeah, it doesn't it doesn't get crouching opponents. So it's not really a legitimate command grab. And then on top of that, hold up. Like, hold up, let me see. You can't use it in a block string like you can do with base Goku. Hold up. Yeah. So it's like that's, you know, that's useless, right? Okay. And then he has you know, like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, a lob little ball, wow. Compared to fucking Goku, who can shoot, shoot, boom, you know, you know. What else? And then this is like, yeah, that's how he killed the raccoon and I think the other members of the Ginyu Force. But it's like the problem with this is like, and it's like, okay, but it's so reactable. It's so easy to just like 2H that, right? Even now, when I try to just throw it out randomly, you know, I get smacked for it. So it's like all his moves at face value just turn me off. Aesthetically, I like them because it's base Vegeta. It's still Vegeta. He's still, you know, that's still my dog. But at face value, I didn't really see the the appeal of the character. It wasn't until I started really using him that I realized the beauty of base Vegeta. Now, really, the difference between base Vegeta and the other Vegetas, well, at least one of the differences, is that he's not as flashy, but his moves all have great utility. So let's go back through all the shit that I just talked about his moves, right? So this, for example, okay, now at face value, it's not, you know, hold up, it's not, yeah, you know, you know, like at face value, it doesn't look as cool as the other Vegeta's attacks, right? But then you realize, like, hold up, the value of it is, you see? The way it bounces you off the opponent, and then you can go back, go up, rush in, mix it with an assist to kind of cover that gap. See, and then it starts making sense. Okay, now also, it took me a while to realize how awesome that is. Hold up. The medium dash can't push you behind the opponent. So that is awesome. That is so useful. And one trick that I've been using online lately is this right here. That shit works. You know, it's a simple, barely mix up, but it, you know, it does work. I pulled it off. I pulled it off a couple times. Yeah. So, okay, and of course, now this, I realized the value of this immediately, but when you actually start using the character a lot and you really, you know, you really start using it, then it's like, hell yeah, like, it's more than just a good move, man. Follow, hold up. Bam, vanish. So yeah, this, the EX dash kick was obviously good from the very beginning. There was never any doubt about that. But without a doubt, now that I'm actually using him as my main, I love the fucking man. And of course, you can't abuse it too much because if they know you're gonna do it, then they can just hop up and then home and dash. I think you can 2H it. Like, it's not an invincible move by any means, but it comes out so fast. And like in scramble situations, and even like something like this, or like especially in a corner or something, right, where you're just doing like a block string, it happens so fast. Like, you really got to be looking for it. So that's very useful. Okay, now this right here, I didn't like this at first, right? But now that I'm actually using base Vegeta and putting this stuff to use, I'm realizing the value of it all. So even this move, alright, so one thing about this game right now is jumping back is very strong. Jump is very strong in this game. And I still have trouble trying to ground my opponent, you know, so I can get him on the ground and, you know, get him locked down to get hurt, you know. But look at this. This move, now one of the things I didn't like about it is that the angle, I was like, man, like, it goes over your opponent's head. But now I know, oh, this move is meant to hit people in the air. And since people love jumping back, people love jumping now, you can just kind of throw this out. And see, it's different from like Goku's Kamehameha, right? So I'm Goku. If I'm just doing this, if I'm just using his Kamehameha on the ground, then I'm very vulnerable to getting home super dash. I call it home and dash. Is it super dash? It's super dash. We're gonna call it super dash. I forget. Homing is super. I don't even fuck. But yeah, I'm very vulnerable to getting super dash, and I'm just throwing beams out on the ground like this. But what I noticed with base Vegeta is that because his projectile, because his little Destructo Disc attack goes at an upward angle, then I'm much less vulnerable to the jump super dash. And on top of that, you can change the trajectory of the attack. So I can make it go lower so that I can definitely hit opponents who are on the ground. I mean, it'll still go over, you know, the heads of like shorter characters from far away. But even a little bit closer, you're definitely gonna hit them. So it still works as it still pretty much works as a normal beam type projectile, right? It's just that from far away against shorter characters, it can go right over their head. But really, its utility is more about hitting jump, like really keeping jumping characters at bay and making sure they can't just super dash you randomly. Like, they gotta watch out for this. And on top of that, you can aim it directly upward. And the cool thing about this is that you can come right down on your opponent's head. I don't do this often, so. But yeah. You can throw it up and then come right back down, right on top of your opponent's head. It's beautiful. So each version of it has different utility. The normal version for keeping your opponent at bay when they're jumping and they're in the air and whatnot. The lower version to kind of act as a normal ground beam attack, and I see this one used mainly to, you know, try to mix things up, just to get that upward mobility and come down. So yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. Now, of course, initially I was like, oh, it's kind of cool that you have a move that puts you directly in your opponent's face. But of course, it's so easy to react to. That's the problem. Like, it's so, like that move. Do not just throw that out. But what I know now is that really it's mainly used for combos. Like, bam! That's what you mainly use it for. You don't just throw it out randomly. You can, but you got to be careful about that. But it's mainly used for that, which is pretty cool. And now what I really like about it is this. I was able to extend the combo pretty easily. Oh, fucked up. Alright, you get the idea. So now one thing that I have problems with is extending combos with assists. But what I notice is that any character that has a move that brings the opponent right back down, that makes it a lot easier to extend combos with assists. I just find it a lot easier than having to time it like that. Especially like when you're way in the air like that. It's a lot easier to time it when you bring the opponent down with a move than to knock them down and then try to get the timing right. Like, I notice like players who use Super Broly, for example, because he has that ground pound move that brings the opponent down. It's so easy for them to extend his combos because he brings them down and then you just call the assist and it's an easy extension because he brings them right down where they need to be instead of you having to time it. And I noticed that you can kind of use this the exact same way. The timing is a little bit funkier, but still, you know, somebody like me, I find it easier to extend combos. We just bring the opponent down like that. So that's what I like about it. And I think there is like some mixed up potential there as far as using this move because you can do something like, okay, like right around here, they're going to want to go low, right? They know that low is coming. So you can say, bam, overhead. Bam, overhead. Bam, overhead. So I think there is some utility as far as using it to kind of like using it outside of combos, but you have to be careful, without a doubt. So I talked about his level 3. Now, it's not the flashiest level 3, but what I realized that the good thing about it is that it leaves your opponent very close to you, which is very good in this game, because after a level 3 knockdown, your opponent doesn't have as many tech options getting up. They can't like tech jump into the air and stuff like that. They pretty much just have to get up normally, which makes it very easy to set up a mix-up situation. And that's really what makes his level 3 so good, is that it does his damage and they're right there in your face. Like you have more than enough time to set up a mix-up. Now, I don't quite know how to do that yet. I haven't practiced it, but that's something that I'll probably be practicing this week, since it's my Vegeta practice week. But just from my research on the character, that's what people mainly love about his level 3, is that after the fact, the opponent is so close to you that you can set up a easy mix. As opposed to say, let's see. Now Bardock was known for having this, but they changed it. Like, look. See, look at how much farther Vegeta is from Bardock after Bardock's level 3, as opposed to how close the opponent is to Vegeta after his level 3. See, the more distance between you, then the less time you have to set up the mix. So that's the good thing about base Vegeta's level 3, is that after they get knocked down, you have a lot of time to set up a mix-up. Okay, and now this, I talk shit about that, but that's how you're supposed to use it. When you use it in a combo, it's probably the only time you're gonna be able to use it, and you follow up with a super, that super does extra damage. So, let me see. Let me see how much it does wrong. So that was about 5,200. And that's 5,400. So, you know, not much, but it does do extra damage, and every bit counts in this game. So this move actually does have some utility. Now one thing I did like about him, even before I started using him a lot, was this. Got a little off there, but yeah, his standing H has mad range, yo. That shit goes far. I mean, it goes a whole like dash distance, like back dash, boom. Songs has a good one too, but see, for Goku here, just comes up short. So not every character has a standing H that goes that fucking far. I know when I used to play with my friend, I used to do this. I used to say, and then stomp, like do the stomp right out, like, boom. Oh man, never saw it coming. Okay, so I think that's about it with base Vegeta. Of course, his normals are solid. Everybody knows about the Ki Blast. I gotta be honest, I still don't quite know how to do this the right way to oppress my opponent, but I just kind of slang them out every now and then because I hear it's really good. But I do understand what makes it good, though. It's the fact that his momentum doesn't change when he throws the Ki Blast. Like Goku here, you notice he freezes in the air for a bit when he throws the Ki Blast. So if the opponent super dashes, then they're more likely to hit him because he's frozen in the air for a second before he goes back. But with Vegeta, he's still going back even while he's throwing it. So you're going to recover faster, which makes it easier to avoid getting super dash when you're throwing out when you're just throwing out Ki Blast. Let me get a sip of water. This video is gonna be longer than I thought. What's up, friender? Okay, so that should be about it with Vegeta. Now, one more thing about Vegeta. It's no secret now, man. Base Vegeta is considered to be top tier in the game right now. On most tier lists, he's about anywhere from like top 3, if not number 1. He's definitely like top 3, top 5 on most tier lists. Now, I can't sit here and say that him being top tier didn't influence my decision to pick him at all. I'm definitely not a tier whore. I mean, the fact that I main Sean in Third Strike kind of, you know, proves that. But I think when it comes to my decision of picking base Vegeta, it's less to do with the fact that he's top tier and just more to do with the fact that out of all the Vegetas, he's the most valuable as a point character. That's really what it comes down to for me as far as selecting base Vegetas, that he's the one that I can use and he'll be a great point character. Certainly after using him as much as I have been using him now, I understand at least partially what makes him so great. He doesn't have the flash of Super Saiyan Vegeta or Blue Vegeta, but his tools are just really, really good. So that's my reasoning for using base Vegeta. My favorite character, great tools, and the Vegeta that's most valuable as a point character. Now, let's move on to Trunks. So, I've been watching Lord Knight's videos, and one of the things that he talked about as far as like building your team is how, because it's a 3v3 game, you can say, well, I'm gonna pick my favorite character, but I'm going to pick 2 characters that might not be my second and third favorite, but they complement my favorite character. So let's say your favorite character is Jiren, and we all know Jiren isn't that high on the tier list. He's considered relatively weak in the game, but that's your favorite character. You don't give a fuck about tier lists. You're using Jiren, right? So what Lord Knight was basically suggesting is that you can pick your favorite character, but because it's a 3v3 game, you should be willing to be flexible enough to say, well, I'm gonna pick my favorite, but I'm going to pick 1 or 2 other characters that complement him or balance things out. So you might say, well, I'm gonna pick Jiren, but I'm gonna put GT Goku on the team because he is a good character, has a great assist. He'll be solid backup for Jiren, and also so and so, right? So that was kind of my thinking with my team. Vegeta is my favorite character from the series, so he's gonna be on my team regardless. Base Goku is probably my favorite character in the game as far as how he actually plays. But for my mid character, I wanted to kind of do what Lord Knight suggested, which is be flexible, and that's why I picked Trunks. Trunks is my flexible pick. So really the main reason why I picked him was because I really wanted a beam assist. And the thing about this game right now is beam assists are really strong and have always been strong. Now, if it was up to me, or it really is, it is up to me, but I guess you could say two other characters that I was considering for his spot were Bardock and Super Broly. And not saying those were bad picks, but I just really wanted a beam assist because of just how easy it is to utilize them as far as locking your opponent down, controlling space and whatnot. And excuse me, I didn't want a C assist beam. I wanted a real beam that had, you know, normal assist cooldown. And out of all the characters with the beam assist, I just felt like Trunks was probably the one that I was feeling the most. I mean, I hate to say it, but really, this is primarily the reason why I put Trunks on the team. I just really wanted a beam assist, and I felt like he would complement both Goku and base Vegeta. Yeah, but having played him more since then, I found other little things about him that I like other than the beam assist, obviously. So for one, I just think he's a cool character, period. Kind of the same way how Vegeta is my favorite character from the anime. Trunks is also a fan favorite of mine. Just fucking look at him. I mean, his design is cool. He's got a sword. He's a Super Saiyan. But beyond that, what really matters is his tools, his moveset. So the things that I like about Trunks is one, this right here, change the future. Now the good thing about this move is that one, it advances you forward while putting a big hitbox in front of you. So you can close the gap while at the same time remaining relatively safe. Because if they're moving anywhere close to that blast, they're gonna get hit. And it definitely scares opponents when they see it, because you can easily follow up with another one. A quick key blast attack. So that's a good move. Also, yeah, Shining Slash, which is an overhead. That's always nice. But the medium's Shining Slash is plus on block. Now, I didn't realize that till like last week. But, there are not a lot of special moves in this game that are plus on block. So it's cool having one of the few moves in the game that's plus on block. Now, the startup can be a little slow, but in the corner, if it hits, you can pretty much just mash, and if they try to contest it, you got them, because it's plus on block. It's a little bit harder mid-range because his standing light won't reach. See? But you're still plus on block. So you go for the light there, the 2L. Let me see. He has a nice beam attack. Shining Slash from the air. you know, he can react to it, but it's still kind of scary. This level 3 is a command grab. So it's not like a normal level 3 where you kind of got to catch your opponent pressing a button. Really, you can just catch him being too defensive and scoop him up real quick. But you still got to be careful with it, because I think you can react and kind of just jump out of it if they see it. So, but that's cool. A solid, cool looking level 1. What I also like about him is the fact that his auto combo switches sides, so you can do cool stuff like that with flip. He's got some cool combos. Yeah. Now, really, the defining feature of this character is the flips, right? Now, I gotta be honest, I don't quite know how to utilize the flips just yet. Last time I really practiced with him, I just wanted to learn some of his bread and butter combos. But I think next time I'm going to focus on learning how to really utilize the flips. But from what I understand, what I can grasp so far is that it's a great escape tool. Like when you're stuck in a corner, your opponent is really on your ass. Come on. You can just kind of flip out of the way. You can close distance really quickly. He's got a nice standing H. He's got good range. The 2H, he's got good range. So now a lot of people are gassing Trunks up like he's S tier. I don't know. I'm not a professional player, so I can't really say. But overall, I at least feel like he's solid. But to be honest, originally I picked him because the beam assist, and yeah, that was really why I picked it. He had the beam assist, and he had the moveset that I like the most compared to other characters with beam assist like Super Saiyan Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, Goku Black, etc. So yeah, that's why I picked Trunks. Now, base Goku. Now, I've said this before, but for me, I feel like base Goku is like the most fun character to play. Like, Vegeta's my favorite character, and I like pretty much every iteration of him in this game. But compared to base Goku, I just feel like just the way that he plays, man, he just has so many interesting things about him. So, for one, his auto combo, I mean, that's just awesome. And it hits both sides. Now, it's rare, but there have been times where I've been mashing the auto combo, and my opponent would try to vanish behind me, and they would get smacked by you know, the other palm. His 2M is really good. One of my favorite things about him, obviously they nerfed Super Saiyan Goku's 2M. I'm glad they left base Goku's exactly the same. comes out really fast. He's got good range. I really love that. Okay, now on top of that, he has a command grab. And it comes out pretty fast. And it's kind of funny because when I first started using him, I really didn't utilize the command grab enough. I was still kind of stuck in the habit of like mashing like this. This was my go-to. I still do it every now and then, but I've been training myself to utilize his command grab a lot more. With great success, I might add. And it's great. It's great to have, because being able to mix up your opponent is so important in this game. And I'm not really good with left rights and lows and highs and overheads. I'm not quite there yet. But command grabs, shit, I got that. I got those for days. That's easy. He has this elbow attack. What's it called? Yeah, he has the heavy elbow. And I don't know, it's a solid move, but I think the best version of it is this one right here. Because you can do stuff like let me see, super dash. Hold up. Like that catches people a lot, because they want to hit you so bad. After that super dash, then you kind of out the way, boom, boom. So that's probably my favorite version of the move. Or you can say, you can run up. Wait, what is he on? Okay, you could run up. Like, let's say they're getting up and they feel like you're about to attack them, so they're gonna mash reflect. You can run in their face and bam, So I like this version because it has kind of a tricky utility to it, where you kind of throw your opponent off a little bit. And the ES version is just faster. Okay, another thing I like about him is this. I love this. Like, this move here is just fun. This is just pure fun. It's risky as hell just throwing it out, because a lot of people know to just 2H and they see you coming down like that. That's why you can just throw out like 1, maybe 2. Or you can even do this. I've made this work at least one time. You say, now that's cool. No, over here. Oh, hold up. Oh. And if you got sparking activated, you can say, yeah. So yeah, I love this move. And I found kind of an interesting setup here. Like, when I knock him down in the corner, let me see, I might drop Trunks in their face, because people love to like jump back, like up tech in the corner. So I call Trunks to cover the ground. I back up, and then I throw these out so that I still end up getting right in their face as they're checking up. So there is some interesting uses for this attack. I certainly don't know them all yet, but that's one cool thing that I figured out. Let's see. Now, obviously, he has the Spirit Bomb, which I think is the most damaging level 3 in the game. Other than Android 16's self-destruct, which is you're never gonna pull that off at high level. Now, the bad thing about the Spirit Bomb is obviously that you can't really combo into it like a normal level 3. But you do have a way, because you can use the mini Spirit Bomb to set it up. Like so. But you know, of course, you gotta charge it all the way up and you gotta make it hit. So, and that's why I use Blue Vegeta, because he can easily just combo into his Spirit Bomb. Now, I know Goku can combo into his own Spirit Bomb with the right combos, but I don't quite know that yet, so I can't really pull it off. So really, with this team, you won't be seeing me use Spirit Bomb a lot because I can't combo into it, and I don't really use the mini Spirit Bomb that much. But it's certainly something that I'm going to work on in the future. But I have this. Now, probably one of the main reasons why I decided to use base Goku is the fact that his level 1 super is Kaioken. And what makes it so fun is that you control what it does. It's not like a normal level 1 super where you just you activate it and watch the animation. You actually control what you get to do while it's going on. And on top of that, let's see. Where is it? Yeah, the more characters that you have defeated on your team, the stronger it gets. And you can follow up with a Kamehameha or whatever, and then if Goku's the last character, then that means you have the limit break, damage boost. So Kaioken can be very dangerous. That's why I don't really feel like I need the Spirit Bomb, because when worst comes to worst, I have usually Goku is going to be the last man standing because he's my anchor, and Kaioken is just very strong. I mean, just look at that damage. Like, Kaioken with sparking and the limit break boost can take well over half your bar. I mean, that move has that super has saved my ass plenty of times. And another good thing about it is, again, people love to jump. You can aim it upwards. Put him on guard. So I can aim it up and bring him right back down to earth. and fuck him up. But yeah, that's about it as far as why I chose the team that I did. Overall, I feel like I have a pretty good team. Even if you just look at it in terms of like the tier list, you know, Vegeta is one of the best characters in the game. Trunks is considered to be very strong, and base Goku is really, ever since Wawa showed him off in high level tournaments, base Goku's stock has gone up and up. But I've always been on the base Goku train. I can at least say that. Like I really, because when base Goku first came out, he really was he was considered to be like mid tier at best, if not a bit lower. But that didn't really bother me because I just really loved the way that he played. So I'm glad to know that he's stronger than people thought. But he was definitely one of the weaker characters, or considered weak characters, that I kind of stayed with from day one. And I can't really say that it's because I believed he was strong. I just really liked the way that he played. And that's kind of how I like for me at the end of the day, it's about fun. That's why I always played Sean in Third Strike, despite him being considered like the worst character in the game. He was just fun to me. And that's kind of how I felt about base Goku. I didn't really care about how strong he was. It was just the fact that I liked the way he played. I liked his tools, I liked his moveset. I liked what he could do. Vegeta's my favorite character from the anime, and base Vegeta just has awesome tools that I love to use. And Trunks has a beam. And that's my team. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will be returning more video game content, so stay tuned. And yeah, China.